Hi everyone, Mark Savage here and welcome back. In today's video, I want to talk to you, or continue talking to you, about ask and it is given. In the previous video, I talked a lot about how I live my life and how I utilize ask and it is given throughout my life and how I'm living the best life I've ever. I'm just as happy as a clam. I'm happier than I've ever been in my whole life. And I associate that with this book, the other books, of course, basically the teachings of Abraham Hicks. It's their videos, it's their audios, it's their books, etc. And I attribute really the greatest life I could ever imagine. And I'm experiencing that right now because of the teachings of Abraham Hicks. So in the previous video I had talked a little bit about that, and I had mentioned that I would create a video about processes. And in the back of the book, I'll see if I can find it real quick. In the back of the book, we have 22 processes. Let's see. I can't find. There we go. Right here, first process. Process number 1, the Rampage of Appreciation. And again, there are 22. I'm not going to go through all 22 with them with you today. I'm going to go through the ones that are key for me in my experience and what I've been using almost every single day. So, Rampage of Appreciation. I use Rampage of Appreciation probably every day. My big days are gym days. So I wake up in the morning, do my thing, go to the gym, and when I'm done at the gym, done working out, doing my thing, I shower. I like to shower at the gym when I'm done, and before I go to my shower, I sit down and I do some segment intending. I'll talk to you about what segment intending is in just a minute. It's one of the processes. It's in here. But I do my segment intending for the shower, and then as I'm walking to the shower, during my shower, after my shower, as I'm shaving, so I shower, get cleaned up, I shave, and then I get dressed and meet Bella out by the front. The entire time from the start of the going to the shower, all the way to getting out front where Bella would be waiting, or if I'm waiting for her, whichever, I'm doing a Rampage of Appreciation. All right, and basically what a Rampage of Appreciation is the way they describe it in the book, is you want to be feeling good, right? You got to start out feeling good. If you're really depressed in a really bad place, you're not going to be able to do a Rampage of Appreciation because it's not going to resonate with you. In fact, it'll probably bother you if you try to start saying, I appreciate my life, or I appreciate my home, or whatever it is. It's going to be very tough because you're not going to feel that appreciation because you're too far away. If you remember, I've talked about the emotional scale. I'll put it in the description down below. If you remember, I talked about the emotional scale, and you can't move that much around the scale, right? So the scale on the top is joy, love, knowledge, right? And on the bottom is despair, depression, unworthiness, things like that. That's your bottom, right? You can't be down there and feel appreciation. You can't be in despair and start talking about the things you appreciate. It doesn't work that way. You have to work your way up the scale. So the whole thing in the book, they talk about all the different set points as to where you need to start for each process. So with the process, the Rampage of Appreciation, they want you to be between 1 and 5. So 5 is optimism. 1 is joy, knowledge. Okay, so again, looking at the scale, you're toward the top of that emotional. You're not only on the top half of the emotional scale, you're toward the top of that top half. All right, so you need to be feeling good. As I said, I finished my workout. I'm feeling really good. Got the endorphins going. I'm feeling good. I go to my shower. Excuse me, and as I'm showering, I'm doing Rampages of Appreciation. It can be anything, right? It can be anything that you appreciate. It doesn't have to be anything specific. You don't have to say, well, it's important for me to like my home, so I'm going to say I appreciate my home. But if you don't appreciate your home, that's not going to work, right? So you want to talk about things that you appreciate. Do easy things. Don't make things complicated. Do it super easy, right? I love this beautiful day. I love my beautiful life. I'll give you some of the ones I use at the gym, right? I love that there's always a shower available for me, excuse me. I love that the water is always warm. I love that there's always soap in the showers that's supplied by the gym. I love that there's always towels available, and on and on and on. I do about this for about, 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes, where I'm just rampaging over and on and on. It's like a relentless, I don't do it out loud, I do it in my head, because I'm not gonna walk around and people think I'm crazy, not that I care. But I don't want to really get involved with people, so I just do my rampages in my head. I just keep rampaging and rampaging and rampaging until I go home. Again, about 15, 20 minutes of rampaging at the gym, and I'll do that, other days. I could be sitting out, doing my own thing, just hanging out at home, and next thing I just feel like doing a Rampage of Appreciation. But for the most part, it's that morning at the gym where I really just go to town. And I come home from the gym feeling like $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion. I feel spectacular. And I feel spectacular because I'm doing this work. I'm doing all this work to make sure that I feel well. Okay? All right. So again, there are 22 processes. The next process is something called the creative workshop. A creative workshop is basically, you don't go into an altered state, you basically imagine what it would be like to live the life that you want to live. So let's say, for example, you want to live in a high-rise condo, and you want to live in a high-rise condo in Manhattan. No problem. Just imagine yourself living there. That's the creative process. Just imagine yourself in that condo, what it's like in that condo, what it's like, in the neighborhood around you, what your neighbors are like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. These are all different things that you're doing. What you're doing is you're working your vibration in a way to make your vibration a match to what it is that you want. All right, and that's the creative workshop. Again, remember, everything's in this book, and if you really want to know much more detail of how all this stuff works, I recommend getting the book, reading the book. Can't go wrong. The book is actually very short. It's really only maybe 115, 120 pages of actual content, and then it's the processes for the balance of the book. So again, it's not that thick as it seems. It seems thicker than it is because of all the processes that have in the back. All right, so I do the creative workshop. I primarily do that again at the gym. I go, I work out. When I'm done with my workout, before taking my shower, I go to sit out. There's a nice pool at my gym, and there's a nice outdoor pool, and beautiful outdoor area. And I just go and I sit in the pool and I do my creative workshop. I do it, for about 15 minutes or so. I do it, 4 or 5 days a week, 3, 4 days a week, whichever. It's not an everyday thing, but I do it quite often. And I just focus on the life that I want to live and having that life work out for me. That's what I do with my creative workshop. Okay. The next one, again, processes are in here, is the Book of Positive Aspects. Now, to be fair, I don't do the Book of Positive Aspects exactly the way it's supposed to be done. So let me explain to you what the Book of Positive Aspects is, how it works, and then I'll tell you what I do instead, but it's right in the same path. So the Book of Positive Aspects is you want to write positive aspects about anything and everything. All right. Now, obviously, you want to write positive aspects about things that you're struggling with. For example, I'll give you a perfect example. When I first started with this work, I was divorced, and I didn't get along with my ex-wife. Now, I get along with her. She doesn't get along with me, but that's her problem, right? But for me, I get along with her. I don't fight with her. I don't argue with her. I don't have issues with her. And the primary reason behind that is I did the Book of Positive Aspects. So, again, using my ex-wife as an example, instead of being like, oh, my ex-wife is bad because of this, or I don't like the way she treats my son, or I don't like the way she talks about me, or if only she would do this better, right? That's the book of negative aspects about my wife. I don't do that, my ex-wife. I don't do that because I don't want to focus on the things that I don't like about her. I don't want to focus on the negative aspects. I want to focus on the positive aspects. And that's what I do. Not so much anymore. I feel pretty good about my relationship with her, so I don't do it as much anymore. But in the past, what I was doing was, I'd take out a book, not this book, a regular book, right? I'd sit and I'd write positive aspects about Wendy. Now, in the very, very beginning, I think I was able to come up with a whopping 1 positive aspect. I'm not even 100% sure what it is or what it was, but I was able to come up with something, one thing that I appreciated about her. Now I have tons. So let me give you some examples of things I would say I appreciate about my ex-wife. My ex-wife takes care of almost everything for my son. Very, very little that I have to do to take care of his camp, his school, his everything. It's wonderful. I don't have to do any of that. It's a positive aspect. Another positive aspect about my ex-wife is she doesn't really communicate with me much anymore. She doesn't call me, she doesn't badger me, she kind of leaves me alone. So I really appreciate that, how our communication is improved, right? So the Book of Positive Aspects will be improved communication with Wendy. And on and on. And I just write positive aspect about positive aspect about positive aspect. Now, again, that's the way the Book of Positive Aspects was worked. Now, what I did was I deviated a little bit. I changed it up a little bit. So the first thing I do is I wake up in the morning, I meditate. That's another process. Get to that in a minute. But after I meditate, I go out, I sit at the kitchen table, I break out a book, and I write not all, but things I love. And I write a full page in a book about all the things I love. A page about, like this. It's about this full page about things that I love. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're different, but it's always about things that I love. Then, after that, I do a thing on abundance. Again, same thing, full page, write about all the different things I'm abundant, that I have abundance in, right? If it's not about money, right, if I want more money, so I don't feel that I'm abundant with money, I'm not gonna write, I'm abundant with money. But I do write, I'm abundant with health, really well-being, I'm abundant with food, with air, with water, and like that. I just write about all the different things I'm abundant about. I do that, I do 2 full pages. 1 page is abundance, 1 page of things I love, and that's how I get my morning started every morning. So again, it's not quite the book of positive aspects, but it's very, very similar, and I've had wonderful, wonderful, wonderful results with it, because again, I just feel good almost every single day, almost all day. Just, that's the way I live my life. All right, next, let's go to meditation. Now, when it comes to meditation, I meditate every single day. For the past 3 years, I've missed meditating maybe 3 times. In almost all cases, I was really sick. So if I woke up and I'm really sick and I can't even lift my head off the pillow, I'm not gonna get up and meditate. I'm gonna lay back down and go back to sleep. But under normal circumstances, every single day, I wake up in the morning and I do a 15-minute meditation. And then when the 15-minute meditation is over, I take a quick drink of water. I do another 15-minute meditation. So I do a total of a half hour in the morning. And it's a blank meditation. So in other words, I don't use a guided meditation where they're guiding me through various stages. I don't have anything where anybody's talking to me. I have an app on my phone, and the app is, I forget, it's just sounds. And one of the sounds is Tibetan singing bowls. And so I just listen to the Tibetan singing bowls, just the vibrational sound of the Tibetan singing bowls as I meditate. And I do my best while meditating to blank my mind. In other words, I try not to think about anything, nothing, just blank thought. And then over time, what happens is, as you're meditating and you're thinking of nothing, slowly your mind wanders. And then what I'll do is I bring myself right back. I notice my mind is wandering, I stop, I focus on nothing again until my mind wanders again. I keep doing that until the 15 minutes is up. And then when that first 15 minutes is up, again, I take a quick break, take a drink of water, and right back into another 15-minute meditation, exactly the same way, where I do my best to focus on nothing. All right? So that's what I do with meditation. And it's also a process in the book. Right? So I'm only talking about processes that I use that are in the book or pretty close. Again, like the Book of Positive Aspects, I made a little variation on that, and I use it that way. Just checking my notes over here. Did say I'm intending to create a workshop, Rampage of Appreciation, Book of Positive Aspects, say I'm intending. Okay, and then there's 2 other processes that are, I want to say they're interchangeable. Abraham Hicks probably would disagree. That's why there's 2 different processes. But it's a little confusing to me which one I'm using. So I'll describe what I do. I'll describe the name of the process, and then basically what I do is what I do, and that's how I use it. Whether I'm naming the right process is not important. All right. And the process is called "Which Thought Feels Better," or moving up the emotional scale. So the idea here is, typically I'm not doing this when I'm feeling great. Right? If I'm feeling wonderful, if I'm on the top half of that scale and I just feel great, I'm probably not going to break down and start doing which thought feels better and trying to move myself up the scale, because I'm there, right? But the idea is this: if I feel off, something's not feeling right, I don't feel good. And again, when I say I don't feel good, I don't mean like I'm sick, I have a cold, that kind of not feel good. I'm talking about emotional feelings, and I don't feel good. So what I do is I do my best to become aware of my thoughts. What is it that I'm thinking about? So I don't have anything specific right now, but let's just say that, let's say it's raining right now, right? You can see it's beautiful out, sun's shining. I don't know if you can see behind me, the beach behind me and the ocean. But the idea is, let's say it's cloudy and raining out, right? And it's got me in a foul mood. I wanted to go to the beach and now it's raining, so now I'm cranky. My cranky pants, as Bella and I like to say, my cranky pants. So what do? I wish it wasn't raining. If only the sun would come out. This happens to me all the time. I want to go to the beach and then I can't go. Like that? No, that's terrible. That's all negative. That's called a negative rampage of negativity. Rampage of negativity. So instead what I would do is I'd say, okay, darn, it's raining. Okay, that was my first thought. Darn, it's raining. Now, I know that that's not a good thought. So now I'm aware of my thought, darn, it's raining, and that doesn't feel good. So the next thing I do is I try to find another thought that feels better, right? It could be as simple as, well, it doesn't rain every day. That feels better. It can be as simple as, thank God it's raining because it's been a drought. The plants are all browning. They really need the water. It's a good thing that it's raining. And on and on. I can come up with a lot of different things. But each time I'm trying to take where I am, get a sense of where I am and what I'm thinking, and then try to make the next thought feel a little bit better. And again, if you remember the emotional scale, 22 at the bottom, 1 at the top, everything in the middle, you want to work your way up. So from 22, you go to be between 20 and 21. From 20, you go to, let's say, 18 or 19, right? You're going up. You can't go from 20 to 1 or 20 to 10. You could probably go from 20 to maybe 17, but more like 18, 19. Just keep working your way up the scale. And that's what I do. I keep working my way up the scale as I think of thoughts and I think of what I'm thinking about to try to get myself moving in a better feeling direction. So again, there are 2 or 3 different processes in the book that are very similar in style to what I'm describing. That's the process. Again, I don't remember the specific process that I use, but basically what I do is when I'm feeling off, I'm aware of my thoughts, and then I try to think better feeling thoughts as I work my way up the scale. Again, I can't go from, darn, it's raining, I really was looking forward to going out to the beach, to, wow, life's great. It's not realistic, right? Because I'm not feeling that way. So I'd be, darn, I really wanted to go out to the beach. But it's been a drought, so it's actually a good thing that it's raining. I really appreciate that the rain is coming to help water the plants and the critters get some water. And the beach is here. I live right on the beach. I can go out anytime I want, so it's no big deal that I can go out today. I'll go out tomorrow. And like that, I work my way up the scale. All right. So these are the primary processes that I use almost every single day. There are 22 different processes in the book. Repeated that, 22 different processes, and I'll do another video going through more of the processes that I've used. I haven't used every single one, but I'll go through the ones that I have used that I don't necessarily use every day. All right, so one example would be something called the focus wheel. I'm not going to go into detail now, but the idea of the focus wheel is to get you feeling better about a specific situation. I've used that before. I will use it again. There are a lot of processes that I don't use every day, but I do use. All right, and I just want to talk about the ones I use every single day pretty much, because this is how I live the best life that I'm living. I've never been happier than this. I mean, the only time I could ever imagine being happier than this is maybe when I was a really young kid, like 3, 4, 5, 6, super young. But other than that, I can't tell you the last day that I had that I felt bad. Now, I'm not saying I don't have days where I feel good and then something happens, I'm a little off for the rest of the day. I'm a little off, right? Not bad. I don't remember the last time I felt bad. I don't remember the last time I was really low on that emotional scale. And again, I'm not saying this to brag, and I'm not saying this because I found some miracle cure, because it's not. It's just doing the work. When it comes to personal development and spirituality, you have to do the work. And the wonderful thing about this kind of work, this stuff that I'm talking about here, this is the best work you could ever do because it feels good. Because you say, I don't want to do the work. It does. I'm feeling crappy. I don't want to do this. So you're not feeling good. But as you do the work, you feel a little bit better. And then you do a little bit more work, you feel a little bit better. And you keep moving yourself up so that you feel better and better and better more of the time. You spend more days feeling better. You spend more time during the days feeling better. And I'm going to give you one last example, and I'm going to get going. But it's not from me, it's actually from Bella, from my girlfriend Bella. So Bella started doing this work with me. We both found it about 3-4 years ago. I actually found it before her, and I convinced her that this is the way to go. Bella used to have bouts of depression. She would have at least one bout of depression a year. It would last a minimum of a month, if not more. I'd have to ask her. I don't want to give you bad information, but I would say that from my recollection, Bella ran a minimum of a month of depression a year, if not 3 months of depression a year. And I've experienced depression with my ex-wife, and Bella's form of depression is significantly better than my ex-wife's form of depression. But depression's depression, and if you're feeling bad, you're feeling bad. Doesn't matter if I see you as feeling good, you feel bad. Doesn't matter how I feel. So Bella, doing this work, and we do this work together, Bella hasn't had a bout of depression that's lasted more than a handful of days in about 2 years. She has not had a month of depression in the last 2 to 3 years. It's been spectacular. And it's because we both do the work. Listen, I'm not going to tell you that there's a simple solution, that all you got to do is like read this book, and that's it, you're fixed. Everything is great. Life will be 20 times better just because you read the book. It's not the case, right? I read the book, didn't help me at all. I did the work, that helped me. I followed the processes, that helped me. Did the book help? Yeah, it helped, but it's not going to help me feel the way I feel today. It can't, because you got to do the work. All right, so the book can help, but you still got to do the work. And that's what I do. I do the work every day. I make sure I feel good every day. I can't tell you the last time I woke up and I didn't feel good. I can't tell you. I don't remember the last time. I haven't woken up feeling bad in over 3 years. And again, it's because I do the work. I do the work. All I can recommend is get the book, read it, do the processes, follow the instructions. It's actually extraordinarily simple to do. Not always easy because we have momentum and other things going on, but extraordinarily effective. Oh, I just realized I didn't talk to you about segment intending. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up with segment intending. There's a process called segment intending. What segment intending is, and it's evolved over time, but this is the gist of what segment intending is. Every moment you're going into a new segment. All right, so right now I'm doing this video for you. Before the video was a segment. The video itself is a segment. And when I'm done with the video, that'll be a new segment. So every time I'm entering a new segment, I do something called segment intending. And basically the process of segment intending, the way it originally was written, or in the book, the way my understanding of it was, you want to say, okay, so the next segment is that I'm going to render the video, right? Because it's on my phone, I got to render it and then upload it to YouTube. So the way they describe this segment intending would be something like this. In the next segment, I'm going to upload my video to YouTube, and it's going to be simple and easy, and everything's going to work out just fine, and it's going to happen really quick. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go eat lunch, and it's going to feel great. That's not actually what I'm going to do, guys, but that's the gist of segment intending, the way it's described. But now it evolved a little bit. I listened to Abraham Hicks, I listened to their videos and audios and all that stuff, and so I heard them talk about segment intending recently, and it's a little bit different. And this is the way I use segment intending. Segment intending is used by getting yourself to a good feeling place first, and then going into the next segment feeling good. So I'm going to use the same example. Finish up the video, we'll go render it, upload it to YouTube. So instead of saying I'm going to go upload my video and it's going to go easy and smooth and I'll have a lot of fun, etc., I'm going to do something different. So segment intending. I'm going to start with, it is my intention as I enter this segment of life experience to see, hear, feel that you want to see, hear, and feel. Nothing's more important than that I feel good. Then I do a little bit of appreciation, right? So then I'd be like, I appreciate so much this life experience. I appreciate this world that we're living in. I appreciate the beauty of the world surrounding us. I appreciate these videos that I'm doing. I appreciate my balcony out here during the beautiful sunny days, et cetera, et cetera. So I do a little bit of that, and then I do the actual part where I say, it is my intention as I enter this next segment of life experience to upload my video to YouTube, to render it, and do whatever is necessary to make the video watchable on YouTube, and just for it to go easy and smooth and just have a good time doing it. All right? So where the difference is let's say I wasn't feeling so hot. I was cranky pants. So now I'm as cranky pants, I'm like, I'm gonna upload this video to YouTube, but I'm not feeling good. And so when I go into that next segment feeling some sort of negative emotion, bottom half of the scale, I'm gonna go into that segment with that vibration, and I'm gonna experience things that are similar in vibration. Where instead, what I do is I make myself feel good first. I get myself feeling good, feeling appreciation, or certainly top half of the scale. And then I say what I'm going to do in my next segment, and then I go into the segment. Now, the only other thing that I do that's a little bit different that I've added to the segment intending is I set up a timer on my phone. It's actually on a calendar reminder on my phone. Every single hour, the timer goes off and reminds me to segment intend. In other words, I may be in the middle of a segment. So let's right now I'm doing the video, right? So I wouldn't stop in the middle of the video to segment intend. But let's say I was doing something else where I wasn't doing, let's say I'm rendering the video, right? So I'm rendering and my alarm goes off. I call it dingy dingy time because it makes this nice little dingy dingy sound. I call it dingy dingy time. So dingy dingy time comes, and then I would stop what I'm doing and I would do my segment intention. I would do everything I just described to you, and then get back into whatever it is I'm doing. And I set that up to happen every single hour on the hour. And I do that, it's not every single, so it starts at 9 a.m. and I ended at, it starts at 10 a.m. and I ended at 9 p.m. And I do that to make sure that even if I forget to segment intend, even if let's say I'm in the middle of something, and something that's running me for 2 hours, I've been working on the same project for 2 hours. If I'm working on the same project for 2 hours, why would I segment intend? Nothing changed. But I want to segment intend to make sure that I'm feeling good. And I do that every hour. Basically, the idea behind it is it's a check-in. Dingy dingy happens, it's top of the hour, dingy goes off, and I stop and I'm like, get a sense of how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling good, I just do my quick Rampage of Appreciation, and I'm on my do my quick segment intending, including my Rampage of Appreciation, and I'm on my merry way. If I don't feel so good, I take a little more time. I breathe a little bit more. I kind of meditate for a minute or two. I get myself settled, and then I do my segment intending, etc. I do all of this for one reason. All these processes, the segment intending processes, all these processes that I do, everything I do every day, I do it for one reason and one reason only. I want to feel good. I want to feel good. I want to feel good as much as I can, as long as I can throughout the day. And I do all this work for the sole purpose of feeling good. And people that know me, that knew me in the past, don't recognize me. And I was a happy-go-lucky guy to begin with. Don't get me wrong. I was never really like a miserable guy. I didn't have bouts of depression. I didn't have any of that stuff. I was a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. But when I look back to the past, to 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, and I compare it to today, I don't even know how I can consider myself a happy-go-lucky guy in comparison to today, right? Because again, I don't remember the last day I woke up where I didn't feel good, meaning happy. I don't remember the last day that I had an all-day bout of crankiness. I don't remember the last time I had really a cranky day. Yeah, some cranky things happen during the day, but that's it. So the idea here, everyone, is to do the work to make yourself feel as good as possible. Because if you feel good, everything you want will come to you, I promise you. It's all here in the book. With that, I want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you liked the video, even with my having to go back and clean things up for you a little bit, if you like the video, please, by all means, hit the like button. Let's get this video out to other people. And if you want to be notified of when I come out with a new video, by all means, smash the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel, and whenever a new video comes out, you'll be notified. With that, have a great day. I'll see you next time.